miserable weather. Look at that. At least the forecast is for kind of sunny, clear skies roughly this afternoon. Better be. From 12 o'clock, it's 11 now. I need the weather to dry out so I can go do some grass and some hedges. But I've still got windows to do. Anyway, so what's the purpose of my video? Do you know what? I don't like seeing the screen on the camera. Do you know why? Because I'm looking at the screen and not you. So I'm going to try and keep my eye contact with you, yeah? Watching you. Yeah. Alright. So the purpose of my video, what is it? I don't know. It's going to be a random video. I'm going to talk some tripe, some rubbish. Maybe something in there, I don't know, that'll be interesting. I'm only messing. I was going to talk to you about my business. And that I have experienced the highs and lows of having your own business. And that's great, having the highs. But the lows can really, I'm telling you, you can seriously worry when you get down in the dumps. 3 years ago, somebody crashed into this van in the side, and as a result it wrecked my back. And it's a long story. The short and sweet of it is that I'm in pain all the time. I've exhausted all the different types of procedures I can go through. The only one that's left is surgical, and I'm not willing to do it because the recovery rate is, the success rate is just too low. The statistics. 1 in 3 chance it'll make it better, 1 in 3 chance it'll do nothing, and a 1 in 3 chance it'll make it worse. So there's a 60% chance it'd be a waste of time. And not only that, the recovery period is anywhere from 3 to 9 months depending on the individual. So you do the math. Do you think you'd have a business to come back to? So it's out of the equation at the moment. Until I can't get out of bed in the morning because of being so locked up with pain, that's when I'll consider it. But until then, I'm going to keep pushing it, keep working forward. And why? Well, because I've got my kids to think of, I've got a mortgage to pay, look after my wife. And although doctors and solicitors have said to me, you know, why don't you take off work, go on the disability? That's not for me. Sitting at home watching TV all day, what, Jeremy Kyle? You guys in the US, that's the equivalent of watching Jerry Springer every day, in my opinion. Total TV rubbish. And a waste of my life and time to watch. So, nah, it's not for me. So I'll try and work and set a good example for my kids that, you know, if you're going to get anything out of this life, you're going to have to work hard for it. And sometimes you're going to have to do it when you don't want it. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm not the only one. So my attitude is this. Let me ask you a question first. Do you love somebody? Is there somebody in your life that you care an awful lot about? Do you have children? What would you do for that individual or for your kids? Anything? Worst case scenario, without being a drama queen, would you give your life for them? Yeah? I'd be surprised if you said no, but I'll go with the presumption that you're going to say yes to that question. Well, so would I. So if I would be willing to do that, why wouldn't I be willing to work through the pain for my kids? To be able to provide for them and teach them and hopefully be able to give my boys a trade. You know, friends of mine that I grew up with, they had daughters and they had a cleaning business, and the daughters started their own maid service. You know, not necessarily that I want my daughters to become maids, you know, but I could teach them how to be self-sufficient, that even when times get hard, that they could rely on themselves instead of waiting for somebody else to come along and say, here you go, I'll sort all your troubles out, here's a job, when you want it the most. So there's a number of factors why, and I'm sure you can understand. So anyway, that's why I worked through it. and I've been at the lows of the business, and that was 3 years ago that accident happened. And for 2 years I struggled to pay the bills, struggled to make ends meet. I lost an awful lot of work. It was pretty painful, and not because of being not because I was a bad service provider, but because I had an awful lot of commercial contracts, and they don't wait around for anybody. So whenever you're watching my video on the commercial side of things, you got to bear in mind it is much more cutthroat, and the competition is ridiculous when it comes to commercial work. But anyway, what was I saying there? See, look, you distracted me. You distracted me. What was I saying? Sorry, I'm kind of losing thought because I'm trying to joke about it as well at the same time. Oh, hold your car, hold your horse. What's this? Look, let's see. What's he doing? Artificial grass made easy. Huh? Alright. Just check. Frame, yes, okay, frame's okay. So yeah, I've worked through it. I've been at the lows of the business, and it's not been easy, and the business has struggled. And if I had lost one more, now I remember my thought, if I had lost one more job, whether it was commercial or residential, I would not have been able to pay the liability insurance for the business. If I had lost that, it was all going to be just totally a nightmare. If I had it, would have been, everything would have finished. If I'd lost the one more job to pay for the insurance, I wouldn't have been able to pay for the insurance. If I couldn't pay for the insurance, there's certain jobs that I need the insurance to do. It's a pre-condition of the contract, so I would have lost them. If I'd lost them, I wouldn't have been able to pay for the insurance on the van. And if I'm not in the van going out to work, I'm not earning, which means I can't pay the mortgage. So you can see, imagine having that hanging over your head. You know you're good at your job, but you never know. People are unpredictable, and you can never 100% rely on the business that you've got. You've always got to be prepared for losing it. So anyway, that was rock bottom, and I've come away from that. I'm not up on top again. For the first time in a while now, I was thinking over the last year, things have been going slow over the winter, and from the spring things have picked up a bit. And I was thinking about it the other day, that the business has got to the point now where I can actually feel the breathing space. Contracts are coming in, I'm canvassing more. I haven't been able to do any recently because of the baby, but I will be in the next week or two, and once I do that, I'll be back canvassing in the evenings. And it's a sacrifice that the family have to make a little bit. I won't come home really late. I'll get home in time to see the kids before they go to bed and spend a bit of time with them, but it's something that I need to do. I mean, I got 5 kids, guys. I've got 5 kids to look after. It's a big responsibility. It's a big responsibility running a business. It's an even bigger responsibility trying to provide both physical and mental training and provisions for your children and life, you know. So I've got to do that this summer, so I can be definitely ahead of myself and well covered for the winter. And then that gives me the best footing, if you want, to really throw the business forward over the next year. So that's my plan, is to try and grow the business an awful lot more between this summer and next year. And by the end of next year, that's where my goal is, that I should be in a very comfortable position. One where, and this is my goal, I suppose, for the short term, is to have enough to not worry about having enough. You know, I'm above the bottom, but I'm in the middle. I'm not where I want to be. You know, it's, if everything went wrong again, you know, you're in trouble again. So there's an awful lot of things to consider, and that's where I want the business to grow and move forward. And so there's an awful lot on my mind with it. but it's an enjoyable journey, and I just wanted to share it with you. Messing around like a goof. Yeah. So, if you stayed this long to watch the video, thank you very much. Please hit the like button or the dislike button, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. See you soon.